Hello everyone, myself Sneha Shah from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Today I will explain you about two topics of skewness and expected value of two-dimensional random variable from the subject of probability and statistics. Now first of all, first topic is skewness. What is skewness? So skewness is a measure of the asymmetry of the probability distribution of a real valued random variable about its mean. Now what is the meaning of this? Suppose if I am taking this one is the distribution and I am taking this one as the mean value, so we can say that this mean value is the middle value of this distribution. So it will be symmetrical, this graph or this distribution is symmetric from this mean value. It means from mean value, if we are taking right part or if we are taking left part, this both part will be same. It means it is considered as symmetrical. So this type of symmetrical distribution is considered as symmetrical skewness. In this type of skewness, the value of mean, median and the value of mode, this will be drawn like this. It will be, suppose if I am drawing this one as the distribution, so the value of mean, median and mode will be symmetrical. Both side means over here at right side and left side part will same. So this type of distribution is considered as symmetrical skewness. Suppose now if we will consider other than this symmetrical skewness, like if I am taking the distribution like this, in this if I am taking mean value over here and all the other terms mean, median and mode will be over here. So this side it will gives you one tail. So tail will be more in this left part. So it will consider as left tail, or this type of left tail or this type of skewness is considered as it is considered in the negative part. So it will consider as negative skewness. Similarly, if we will consider this one as the distribution and if I am taking the mean value over here, it is not the middle value. If it will mean value is in the left hand side, so over the right hand side the tail will be more. So this type of tail will consider as a right tail and this type of distribution is considered as positive skewness. So there are basically three types of skewness. First one is symmetrical. In the symmetrical, the value of mean will be in the middle part. If this mean value will be on this right part, it means left hand side there will be a tail. So this type of skewness is considered as negative skewness. And if the mean value will be on this left part, then at the right side there will be tail. So because of this, distribution will consider as positive skewness. Now if we want to measure the skewness, how we can measure the skewness? Skewness will be measured from the value of absolute value of skewness. First of all, I am explaining this one as your normal distribution. This one is positive skewness because the tail occurring in the positive part, and this one is tail occurring in the negative part, so it is considered as negative skewness. And in the last session we had considered this part as kurtosis. From this we had defining three different types of kurtosis. It will drawn this style. So there is basic difference between this kurtosis and this skewness. In the skewness, the shape of this distribution may be changed if it may be positive or negative, but in this the shape will change only in this part, as we will consider it as a symmetrical skewness, but it has narrow band or the wide band distribution. Now if you want to find out the measurement of this skewness will be measured by using the equation of absolute value of skewness. So if I am finding absolute value of skewness, its value equals to the difference of mean minus mode. So if we'll taking the absolute value of this, then it will gives you the absolute skewness. Now how much skewness is occurring is it will be defining by some coefficient. So the next topic is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So from this point we can defining how much the skewness will be affecting in the distribution of any random variable. Now this Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness can be defined by Sk skewness equals to Karl's skewness. Sk equals to mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. So from this equation we can find out the Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. Now if we'll finding the value of mode, the value of mode equals to 3 median minus 2 mean. So from this we can write that the value of Sk equals to 3 to mean minus median upon standard deviation. How this equation will occurring? Over here put the value of mode like this. If I am putting the value of mode, the value of mode equals to 3 median minus 2 mean, right? Divide by standard deviation. Now you can simplify this term as minus minus plus 2 mean plus mean. It means 3 mean, and this term is minus 3 median. So from this two part we will take 3 as a common part, so it will consider as 3 into mean minus median upon standard deviation. So this is the final equation. By this equation we can find the coefficient of the skewness by using Karl Pearson's. Now from this we can define some points like this. Not you have to first the value of Sk will be in between minus 1 to 1. If we are considering plus 1, it means it will consider as positive distribution, means it is positive skewness, and it will be minus 1 means negative skewness. So if we are taking the value of positive skewness, then the value of Sk it is greater than 0. When we will consider negative skewness, the value of Sk is less than 0. And for symmetrical skewness, the value of Sk equals to 0, means there is a no skewness coefficient. So the value of coefficient equals to 0, it means it will symmetrical on the both sides. Now this data will be written in the column way, like input x is given to you like this 3, 4, 8, 2, 4, 4, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 and 11. Now if I am adding all this value, it will give us answer of summation x, and its value equals to 67. Now the next term we want to find out is x square. What is the value of x square? Square of these 3 square 9, this one is 16, 64. Likewise we will find all the input x square. And if we will adding all this value, it will give us answer of summation x square, and the value of it equals to 465. Now we want to find out the value of Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So it will be defining by Sk, and the value of Sk, you know that the value of Sk equals to mean minus mode upon standard deviation, right? So I will write first of all the equation as mean minus mode upon standard deviation. So I will finding each and every value, then I will put the values of this in this equation to find out the final value of this coefficient. So starting with mean value, as you know that the equation of mean equals to x bar and value of it equals to summation x upon total number of sample n. Now you can calculate number of samples are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So the number of samples are 12 and the total of input x equals to 67. So I will write over here 67. So 67 divided by 12, the answer of it equals to 5.58. Now what is the value of mode? Mode can be defined as which input is more frequently used, means which input is occurring more time. Now from this data you can see that 4 will occurring more number of times. So I will write this as the mode. So mode equals to 4. Now we want to find out the value of standard deviation. The value of standard deviation equals to under root of summation x square by n minus summation x by n whole square. Summation x square value of it equals to 465 divided by value of n equals to 12. Over here I will write the value of n equals to 12 minus summation x means 67 divided by 12 whole square, and this whole part will be in the under root. Now if I will find the answer of this, its answer equals to 2.75. Now we will put all this value in this equation to find out the value of coefficient. So value of mean equals to 5.58 minus mode equals to 4 divided by standard deviation equals to 2.75. If we will simplifying this term, it will give us answer of 0.57. So this way we can find out any coefficient by using this theorem. Now the next example is from the marks scored by 100 students in section A and in section B of class, the following measures were obtained. In section A and section B are given to you. The value of mean, mode and standard deviation is given to you. You have to just determine the distribution of marks is more skewed. Means from this we can define which one is more skewed. So we will starting by finding its skewness coefficient, and skewness coefficient will be defined as Sk for section A equals to mean minus mode of A divided by standard deviation of A. Similarly we will finding Sk for B, it is also mean minus mode upon standard deviation, right? Now mean for A equals to 55 minus mode equals to 58.72 divided by its standard deviation equals to 15.4. If we will finding this value, its answer equals to minus 0.24. Similarly we will find for section B. For this mean value equals to 53, mode value equals to 48.83 divided by its standard deviation equals to 15.4. If we will finding this value, its answer equals to 0.27. Now if we will comparing these two terms, we can say that mode of minus 0.27 is less than mode of 0.27. Right. So from this we can say that the distribution of marks of section B is more skewed because the difference is more for the B section, so it is more skewed. Now the next topic is expected value of two-dimensional random variable. Now how will finding the expected value of two-dimensional random variable? So to find out it, the equation will be like this. Expected value will be defining as E, and for two-dimensional random variable, suppose first random variable is x and the second one is y. So we will finding like this EXY, or also we can find its value like this E of XY. Now what is the value of this? If I am taking this as a discrete random variable, for discrete random variable its value equals to summation I summation j xi yj p of x equals to xi, y equals to yj. And if we will taking continuous random variable, then this equation will remain same, only the difference is instead of this summation we will take integration, and instead of this one is considered as xy, and instead of this probability we will take in probability density function f of x and y, and these two integrations will be respect to x and y, so it will representing like this dx dy. This can be well defined by using some examples. So the first example is, let x and y have the following joint probability distribution. The distribution is given to you like this: x and y, value of x and y is given to you as the value of x equals to 2 and 4, the value of y equals to 1, 3 and 5, and according to that this joint distribution is given to you. Now just you have to find out the value of E of x comma y. Now how will you find the value of E of x comma y? As you can see from this, the number of samples are finite. This one is 3 terms and this one is 2 terms, right? So total number of terms will be small. So we can say that this one is discrete random variable. So if we are taking the discrete random variable, for the discrete random variable the value of exy will be representing as E of xy equals to summation I summation j xi yj p of x equals to xi, y equals to yj. It means we will taking multiplication of all this term, means we will taking multiplication of x into y. It means 2 into 1 into probability of this, means combined probability is 0.1. Similarly, I will take 4 into 1, its combined probability equals to 0.15. Then I will take 2 into 3 into combined probability equals to 0.20. Likewise, if we will finding all the term, it will give us answer as 2 into 1 into 0.10 plus 2 into 3 into 0.20 plus 2 into 5 into 0.10 plus 4 into 1 into 0.15 plus 4 into 3 into 0.30 plus 4 into 5 into 0.50. Now if I am calculating all this value, summation of this equals to 9.6. So this is your final answer of expected value of two random variables x and y. Now the next example is, let x and y be the random variable with joint density function fxy of x comma y equals to 4xy for the value of x in between 0 to 1 and the for value of y in between 0 to 1. Otherwise its value equals to 0. Find the value of E of xy. So if you want to find out expected value of this combined term, then we will starting with the equation of E of xy, and the value of it equals to, as you can see that this one is the range, it means we can say that this one is the continuous random variable, right? So continuous random variable equation is E of xy equals to integration over minus infinite to infinite, integration over minus infinite to infinite, x y f of x comma y dx dy. So we will starting from the whole range. Now this range will convert into two parts, 0 to 1, 0 to 1. So I will take like this, 0 to 1, 0 to 1. Over here the term xy will remain as it is, f of x comma y. Value of it equals to 4xy, so this will becomes 4xy dx dy. Now if I will simplifying this term. It will gives us answer of 0 to 1, 0 to 1. This 4 is constant, so it will be outside of this integration. Now this x into x means x square, y into y means y square, dx dy. Now we will taking one by one. If we will taking x square dx, its value equals to x cube by 3, and if we will putting the value of it will gives us answer as x cube by 3. Its range is 0 to 1. The another integration will remain as it is. It will gives y square dy. 4 will remain as it is. Now if we will putting this value 1 minus 0 means 1, 1 by 3. So answer of this equals to 1 by 3. 1 by 3 into 4, it will gives you the answer as 4 by 3. 0 to 1 y square dy. If we will integrating this part, it will gives us answer equals to y square integration equals to y cube by 3, 0 to 1. And if we will finding this value, its answer is 1 minus 0 upon 3 means 1 by 3. 4 by 3 into 1 by 3, it will give you the final answer as 4 by 9. So this way we can find out the expected value of any two random variables by using this equation. Only the difference between discrete random variable and continuous random variable is, in the discrete random variable we will take summation, and in the continuous random variable we will take this integration. Thank you.